What is a legal delivery and what is not? What are the key facts?
The key fact is when the foot first touches the ground. When the foot first touches the ground, there has to be something behind the line, whether it's raised or actually touching the ground. That means that is not a no ball. It's raised, but it's not touching the ground. It's not a no ball. That is a no ball, obviously. Even if it's raised or touching the ground and there's nothing behind the line, obviously is a no ball. And that then creates a little bit of a problem for the umpire because he has to be careful when he's watching that front line.
What happens then if he lands here and then drags it back? Because surely then he's got a bit of his foot behind the line when he lets go of the ball.
Well, the law would tell you, and we get this open, these interpretation of the laws, and there's a lot of talk about it, a lot of words. This is just one paragraph or one sentence. Subsequent movement of either foot after it has landed is irrelevant. It's irrelevant. Once it's landed, any sort of movement after that is nothing to do with it.
Let's show the incident, and this is why we're all talking about it, because of this delivery from Bishu. That is the point, Mikey, when technically the foot has hit the floor.
Yes, and from what we can see there, it appears as if there's something behind the line, not touching the ground. It's raised, but it's behind the line.
So that is the first
technically,
point.
the first point, as soon as something touches the ground, the first point, it is not a no ball. There, the foot is on the ground. There's nothing behind the line.
But the foot's already touched.
It's already touched before that. And then as he bowls the ball, you'll see the foot coming behind the line again. But that's irrelevant. It's all finished. What the umpire should be looking at is what actually happened immediately the foot touches the ground. That's what makes it so difficult for the umpire under those circumstances. And with the DRS situation that we have now, when it can be referred upstairs, I would prefer the umpires, anything as close as that, I would prefer the umpires to just let it go, and then if a wicket goes, you say, I need to have a look at that.
Okay.
When you see a foot down here, as we have seen on a few occasions, and the umpire doesn't call it, one of two things. The umpire might have missed it, or he might not be looking. He might have missed it because of the bowler's action. Sometimes when the bowlers are chest on, their left foot is out here, the right leg is here. The umpire can't see that left leg because of the bowler's backside. If he's more side on, with the left foot here and the right foot here, the umpire has a better view. But once that leg goes there and the right foot is here, this is blocking the umpire. He can't see it that clearly. So that creates a problem again.
Let's just run that Bishu one through full speed. It's also the pace that the umpires have got to deal with it. Boom, look, you've got no time to think, no time to... It's an instant decision, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's the umpire's decision. I mean, we've looked at it and discussed it, and it's slow motion and it's blown up. He doesn't get any of that.
Nope.
And from where he stood, he's not stood up to the stumps. This is stupid to stand here, because at this pace, at international pace, if you're stood here right behind the stumps and you're looking at that line, by the time you've looked up there, all the action's gone, it's been and gone. That's the business end.
Mikey, just be a bowler for us. So where would you stand?
Well, you've got to go into a comfortable place, and it's about here. There's all sorts of things to consider. That's about right, but then again, I'm not too near the stumps. And what about there's a nick down that end? What about the wind's blowing this way, the crowd noise? He's looking to listen for a nick. You know, it's not an easy job, but it's a vital job. I think they do a fantastic job. I really do.
If you get into a bowling position, also, can you get blocked off?
I can't see it.
Point?
I'm stood here, and he comes in, a big strapping fast bowler, and I can't see his front foot. There's no way I can see his front foot.
If I asked you as a bowler to stand back there, would you do it?
Yeah, I would do, maybe. I might come back here.
But
then I'd be
away from the...
Yeah, but then I'd be saying to him, well, you're going to get a nick, I can't hear it. The wind's blowing at me, I can't hear the nick. What do you want? So you've got to get a balance as to what's sensible to accommodate the player and administer the laws of the game.
And that is why, Wardy, in my opinion, the DRS needs to be used a lot more by the umpires when things are as close as that. We have seen the front foot go a long way over and the umpires not call it because they are not looking at it. I think that's just laziness. But whenever it's as close as that, it is difficult for the umpire to be absolutely sure that his foot is over the line.
Well, let's show this with Shannon Gabriel. Is this what you're talking about?
Shannon Gabriel,
so all of these deliveries are legal. They might look like he's over the front line, but they're legal. That comes back to your point, Mikey, the first point of the foot hitting the ground.
The first point of contact. Shannon Gabriel's front foot slides. It will land behind the line and then slip forward. As we can see there now, That is behind the line, is landing,
And then he
by the
will slide,
time
yeah.
he actually delivers the ball, his front foot slides forward. That's not a no ball. And again, I would prefer the umpires to just have a look. If it's close, leave it alone. If it's obviously over, call it.
But when you're having a bit of fun at the ICC Cricket Committee,
Yes.
then training to put on roller skates. So if you land here with a roller skate, you could end up.
Yeah, one of those ICC cricket committee meetings when I was on the committee. We were just joking around. I said, I'm going to train a kid to run in on roller skates. He'll land behind the line. I'll just keep on skating, and then bowl the ball.
The other thing is, as an umpire, best off to get nice and low, isn't it?
Well, I think we should go back to yesteryear where they got down like that for every delivery. And they were just level. They got a great eye-level view. That's the over.